Welcome to the Brave Talkshow, the show for brave women craving the connection that comes with real conversations. We are four unique women coming together with different perspectives, passions, and experiences. Our goal is to foster healing and connection by making the uncomfortable comfortable. Let's be brave here.
Welcome to the Brave Talk Show. Brave woman, bold topic, and nothing is off the table. And right now, we are going to do some hot takes. We are excited. We are nervous, and we are going to be controversial. So
we are
go.
never nervous here. Everyone knows our whole life stories, even down to the crotch wash we use.
Yeah, it's
Come
pretty
on.
bad. It's pretty bad.
So what's our first hot take? Are we going to Ozempic?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ozempic.
So we all kind of brought one to the table, and I was like, hey, I would love to talk about semaglutide, trizepatide, Ozempic, as they call it, basically a GLP-1. Wegovy. There's lots of different kinds, and let's do it like this. Instead of all just kind of jumping in, let's go in a line so no one's persuaded, and everyone just tells us what you think. Have you used it? Would you? Why not? Pros and cons.
Okay.
All right. I feel like you're really ready for this topic. So why don't you start us off with your excitement over here?
Actually, I'm excited to talk about it. Okay, so I have used it. I have used both semaglutide and trizepatide. I wasn't morally for or against it, and I don't feel like I have a very strong stance either way. I resonate with both sides, why you would and why you wouldn't. For me, I was approached 2 years ago by a med spa who said, hey, you're the only one on the internet who talks about vaginas and weight loss and all these things. Would you be comfortable making a super taboo topic like super normal? Because everyone who was doing it, it was hush, hush, don't tell.
You were the perfect
like
one
hidden.
for it.
And I was like, for sure. I had just actually lost 40 pounds naturally from, I believe, like leaving a toxic relationship and changing my beliefs and stress. And so I was like, I actually don't really have like a lot of weight to lose. But you're giving it for free. And I want to try it. And like everyone has that last final 10 pounds, right? So I was like, why not? So I started with semaglutide and it made me so sick. So I was nauseous, barfy, constipated to the point where I actually had to go to the hospital and get an enema because I was backed up. Jeez. And I called them back after about 3 weeks and I was like, this is horrible. Why would anybody take this? Like, I couldn't even live. Like, I would never do this again. And they're like, okay, like, some people don't do so well on it. Will you try this newer one? It hasn't really come out yet.
What was your dosage?
I can't even remember, but we went back and forth. Like they tried all the doses, but just for me, that one didn't sit well. I felt nauseous. I felt like I was pregnant, like sick all the time. And I'm like, well, of course people lose weight. I'm just starving to death. Like I can't even like eat. So they were like, how about you try this newer one called trizepatide? No symptoms. I felt super energetic, totally happy. The only thing I did notice was I did have a harder time. I was a little more constipated. So just knowing that, I would start right when I took the shot, I would start with a stool softener for a couple of days just to loosen it up and I would have no problem. And I lost the last 10 pounds. I felt really good. I had a ton of energy and I was like, that was really awesome. Like anyone who needs a boost to take these, like, you really should. So I stopped taking it. Everything's been great since, but I actually just started to microdose. So
you stopped altogether?
I stopped altogether for like a year and I didn't gain any of the weight back or anything crazy. Like I just stopped because I was like, hey, I took your free meds and now I'm done. My family though, my mom she's pre-diabetic, hypoglycemic, always had a really hard time like losing weight. And I actually realized that when I was on semaglutide or trizepatide, it like balanced out my insulin really well. And so I was like really energetic. So I went back to my doctor and I was like, hey, when I was on semaglutide, like, yeah, it was great to lose 10 pounds, but like I felt really good. And so he took a whole blood panel, looked at everything, got my history. And he's like, it's actually meant for people with diabetes. So if you're pre-diabetic or have hypoglycemia or anything like that, it's before even weight loss, it's supposed to like help you balance those sugar crashes out. And he's like, you'd be a really good candidate to microdose. So I'm microdosing now. I just actually barely got the medicine just recently. And I take like a tiny little bit in a insulin needle once a week. I'm not doing it for weight loss necessarily. I'm doing it for like my insulin stability. And I feel really good. Like no crashes. They've also had other people, that same friend that I told you about that cured cancer holistically. She microdoses. She said it's super good for anti-inflammatory. So she uses it to keep her inflammation down because she believes that draws cancer in. And she's like, every single person should be microdosing on semaglutide.
Interesting. See, but that worries me. And that's why, like, I've gained a lot of weight since Benton's accident, and I suffer from so much body dysmorphia and body issues that it is so tempting. It is so tempting to just take the shot, easy peasy, look thin and fabulous. I have a million friends that are doing it. I'm really, really tempted. But then the part that always brings me back is like, I've never seen anybody, you're the first person, Robin, that I've heard get off of it and not gain it all back. Everybody that I know is on it long term. They're like, I have no plans to stop. I feel great, look great. I'm going to keep going. I'm now microdosing it because I don't need as much because I've lost all the weight, but I'm not going to go off of it. I'm going to stay on it. And then years.
So let me also give you a different perspective because also I'm on semaglutide. I've been on it for about since
I
July.
did notice you looked a little thinner.
I started with small dosage, like 0.5, and I've lost probably like 25 pounds off of it. And my sister-in-laws, but I've seen people that get off of it for that year period and don't gain anything.
Okay.
I didn't get sick at all on semaglutide. I don't have any, like maybe sometime like when I'm not drinking my water, I get like headaches, but like that's because I think I'm my water intake. But I haven't had any symptoms with it that comes with it at all. But I have seen people, like I have a group of friends that does it that have been off of it for 6 months that has been able to maintain the lifestyle and hasn't gained.
I have a whole bunch of friends too. So we all did it at the same time and no one's gained.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody that gained
I think
weight.
when you said like it's really easy, you lose less weight, I was about to cut you off and say it's actually not.
It's not easy.
Like my mom has been on it and has not lost a single pound in a year because she cannot stop binging. She cannot eat healthy.
It's hard.
Like if you're going to the gym and you're eating healthy and protein and water, I think it just speeds it up.
Yeah.
But like you won't, if you just take it and you maintain your same thing, you will not lose the weight.
It's hard.
Well, see, because I've seen a ton of influencers that are like, I haven't even started working out yet. I lost the first 50 pounds without working out. Now I'm going to start working out.
So what's happening, and my doctor explained this to me too. She said, the people that are just taking the shine and it's eating, it's your muscle.
Yeah.
It's taking away your muscle, your fats and everything.
Yeah.
So it's taking everything. And so I try to go to my doctor every month. And you do the body scan just to kind of make sure, like my doctor's like, don't put your body in starvation mode because then that's the shot, then it's just eating everything up. So the one that are not working out and doing this are literally losing their body mass, their muscles and everything else.
One of my relatives who's using it, she's very health minded. She said, if you're going to be on it, you need to be eating 120 I think grams of protein a day to make sure that you're keeping your muscle mass. Because if you don't, it will eat your muscle mass.
So they're probably just losing weight because it's literally eating their muscle.
It's eating their muscle.
Because if they're not going to the gym, they're not the type who's counting their macros, eating protein. Like it literally, I promise you, it's actually not an easy fix, but I use it as a tool. And like I cut more than I've ever cut those last. I've never looked as strong as I did I was so clean on my diet, drank water, like all those things. And now I know that I'm about to start microdosing. I'm like, hey, Robin, pull it together. Like,
but does it worry you that there's not any long-term effects? Like this is the next fen where all of it, like once there's studies out.
No, because it's been around forever. It was just given to people with diabetes. And then they kind of withheld it because they didn't want to off-source this medication for like cosmetic. So it's been clinically trialed for 30 years.
And there's also the rules about it. It's like, so you have to pick a niche, so to speak, of what it's for. And then once the patent runs out, then you can start using it for other stuff. So that's part of the
So it has been around for a really long time. But they were only giving it to people with diabetes.
Now it's released for weight loss.
And I also think like if you go to like me, I'll go to like Revere Weight Loss Management, like and you work with somebody, they help you maintain other ways to kind of maintain when you get off of it. So they have planned to help you like maintain in the life where it's not something like you need forever. So with my doctor, if you like were to say like, okay, I'm ready to get like, and then he dose you down low to get point and then be like, okay, this is what we need to do now. Like, this is what you're looking at. And then we do like, I go in and did a test where I breathe to tell me how many calories that I need to take now. So I think there's a lot of people that are just going online and buying it and getting it and not having like me. I go in every month with my doctor to check my weight, check my body mass to make sure that I'm doing really well. So I would say go and do it with somebody that's going to like help you with that progress. That's what I would say.
I also think you'll find what you're looking for. Like if you want to find all the scary facts about it or the negativity, you're going to find that and you're going to focus. But there are also just as many studies saying this is actually a really great medication. Like literally, I have a friend who is using it to cure her cancer. Like she has sworn by it. She's like, it has taken my inflammation down, and like pre-diabetes people, it's changed their life. And like even me, who I wouldn't say like I have been like my mom, like yo-yo dieting, and she has hypoglycemia, she can't fast and all these different things. Just knowing that was in my genetics and letting my doctor know that, I noticed such a big difference with like my insulin spikes when I'm on it. I just feel steady. I don't have these like crashes because I don't drink caffeine. So I will just naturally crash like on my insulin. I feel so energetic. And I think there's more uses that you should consider before just losing weight. Like that's an amazing side effect, but like there's a lot of studies that it's actually really beneficial.
So I want to share my piece, and then I think we have to wrap up to go to another question. But obviously, I think anybody who's seen me on the show, I don't struggle with weight. I've been very blessed. Thank you for that, Lord. But I also I don't. It's not like I sit around eating nachos every day and then still this way. Like I do eat healthy, right? I do those types of things. So I wouldn't take it strictly because I don't need to take it. But I'm trying to put myself in a mindset of, okay, let's say I did struggle, right? Let's say I was over. My approach to this would be like my approach to anything else. I am not against pharmaceutical drugs. I do lean more natural and I do lean more alternative when it comes to my health. But I'm not one of those people that think that all pharmaceutical drugs are evil and awful and you should never use them. I think they save lives. I think they make a difference. But I think they need to be put in their proper place. Pharmaceuticals, I think, are beneficial when you have tried to get to the root cause issue. You've tried to do the ways that were, that got you there in the first place. And for some reason, it didn't work, or alongside and using it as a bridge while you're working on whatever is the root cause problem for your health issues. That's my philosophy for anything. And I would take that approach even with Ozempic. Have you tried eating well? Have you tried balancing your hormones through your diet, through your lifestyle, through stress management? Right? All of those types of things. Are you drinking enough water? You've done all of those things. You're exercising. You're still struggling. I say, hey, talk to your doctor. See if this works for you. But hey, I'm not going to do anything and then I'll just jump on that. I don't think that's the right path. But I do understand why doctors might prescribe it for those lazy people who don't and won't do it because they just want to save their lives. It's like these people are going to die. And maybe this is the only thing that's going to help them. I understand that too. I just hope that that's not the norm. I don't think it's good for people to just be lazy, not do anything to help themselves, and then just jump to a drug every time they want to,
It's definitely a hot topic, Like I said, some people stay quiet about it. Some people don't talk about it because of the judgment that come with it. But I think when we live in a country where obesity is literally like an epidemic. And I think
and in those cases, we're saving lives, right?
For those people. But I think it's definitely a decision to make with what you think is best for you. But Ozempic, that was great. That was a good hot topic. Got a little,
Well, and I don't doubt that every single one of the you guys here don't all work on exercising and drinking water and eating.
I feel like I find myself wanting to work out more because I'm just like, I'm excited. I want to, because of what I feel for me, it's like an aid. Now I work out, I watch what I eat.
It's not your easy, lazy button.
No.
You're using it as
I'm in the gym. I'm like,
So. I think if you don't use it with the gym, a mindset change, healthy eating, then you're going to be the statistics where it hurt your body.
Yes.
Where it ate your muscle mass, where it messed up with your self-esteem. Like for me, I'm like, if I don't take it, I'm healthy, I am capable. But I find being on it, I have more energy, less crashes, tone those last 5 pounds. So for me, I'm like, sounds great.
Awesome.
Yeah. I love it.
All right.
Great.
What's the next question?
Hot take? Mormon's wife?
Okay. Can I start with the Mormon wives one?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm the only one here who hasn't seen it. I think.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't?
I didn't watch the first season.
Okay.
I never watched it. I did start last week with a few episodes and I got some thoughts.
Okay.
I've watched both seasons. I'm almost done with the second one.
Well, I am looking forward to hearing your answers
because
I haven't seen it because honestly, I was so annoyed by the cover.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at it and it's like The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I live in Utah. I know Mormon wives and they don't look or dress like you. So you're a bunch of bullcrap liars and that's not Mormon wives. So I'm not going to watch your show. That's basically what my impression was. And I was like,
probably wasn't the only one. I think
you were
split. Yeah.
So am I right or am I wrong?
So
Is the cover image misleading?
The cover picture is very misleading because they have the temple and then the blue
and these like sexy white little dresses.
Kind of like so it's not even based off of Mormonism.
It's not even There's
it's a catch. It's just a bait. I watched 3 episodes
people.
and like for 10 seconds they're like, in Mormonism we say forgive. Okay, you motherfucker. It actually has
second season because they're like in our church we believe in forgiving. There's somebody even reading scripture and then they're like, you mother effer, and then they're like in the club.
People to watch. It has nothing to do about
literally
it's just clickbait.
It's clickbait, and I think because right now, I think the thing about Mormonism is people feel like it's secretive and they like learning about it, so they feel like if I was gonna say this is where I'm at with it, it doesn't do anything to my life. Like as somebody that's a member of the church, it does not change. Like what they said, they're like, we're trying to change the patriarchy, and I'm like, it doesn't do that for me. It doesn't make me mad. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is this woman that have their perspective and they grew up in the church and those are their feeling and their journey. And we shouldn't invalidate their experience. And if we're a Mormon and we are mad about it, where to the point people are like really upset, then you got to look at yourself because that what they're doing, there's a lot of other Mormons that does it. Now it's just putting it in on a national platform. So we're like, oh my gosh. But it has nothing to do really with Mormonism. Like, I just feel like this is just women. I don't think they're really even friends because they really don't like each other. I don't think they do not like each other. They throw each other under the bus. There's no loyalty. And it's just what we call trash TV.
Yeah.
Do they put them all in the same house like the original?
No, they live in their own house.
Okay.
They live here within the community.
Staged. So I didn't watch the first episode. I was a very devout Mormon. I've since left the religion. I don't even identify as Mormon anymore. Even when it came out last year, I was kind of like, I could see why that would piss off Mormons.
Yes.
Like, that does not portray the women in the church.
Yeah.
Like, so I was really put off. So I didn't watch it, but also I don't ever watch TV. So I'm like, if I'm going to watch TV, that's going to be on the last on my list. Well, I found myself in a low place last week. I was a little...
You do have to get to a place where you're like, I got
real
nothing.
low
Yes. And then you're like, that's what I'm going to watch.
I really did. And for some reason, I was like, I'm curious. So this is coming from someone who has not seen the first episode, which means I've missed a lot. I've missed their interactions. I don't even know anything about them. But I watched the first few episodes and the only word that comes
season
to me
2
of season 2 was like train wreck.
It is a train wreck.
I also was like, oh, this actually, I thought in my mind that they would try to be pulling in a lot of Mormonism. It wasn't actually not at all. Like,
not at all.
It wasn't even until like the third episode. They don't even talk about Mormonism at all. And so I was like, this isn't, I was like, such clickbait. Like, they didn't even
and then they show like Mormonism. A temple. Every time they go to one scene to another scene, they're showing a temple. And
they show a temple in like every time they switch, but there's no talk at the temple. And even in the first couple episodes, again, I don't even know what happened first episode. Every single one of them was like, we're not active Mormons.
The first season, they did they show like people going to baptism and things like that. So there was more of that little bit. But then like now it's like they use the thing like, well, I can tell like the producers like, say something about Mormon, like church. And then they're like, so in the Mormon church, sometimes we have to be submissive to our husband. Everybody has to be submissive. And I'm like, who's being submissive to their husband? You all are a bunch of feminism. You literally, they're like, we're trying to change the patriarchy. But our husband doesn't work. We all make the money. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think that they were smart. They got people to watch.
Yeah.
And I was watching a really well-known therapist in Utah. She's actually a Mormon therapist, but I love how she has she's an active LDS woman, but she like has a really...
She's actually not active right now. She just came out and said that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. When did that happen?
Saturday, I think, or Sunday. I saw her stories. Yeah, somebody point blank. She did a question answer, and somebody asked her, "Are you active? Are you active?"
Know what we're talking about, yes,
and yes, Julie. So it's Julie Hanks. She's a friend. I would call her a friend. She came on my Ollie retreat. Love her, and somebody came out and said, "Are you still?" And she said, "I'm not practicing." Or she said, "I've slowed down my activity right now, where I'm not." Yeah, something about.
Can I ask a dumb question? I'm assuming if you're not active, that means that you are not doing like your temple recommends or something? Or does that mean you're not going to church?
I think that's a blanket statement, meaning you're not practicing the religion.
So does that mean you don't go to church on Sunday? Or
I think it's different for everybody when they
and that's the thing about, so I haven't seen the show.
calling. They don't accept
They're not
the
following their
callings.
callings. So they're
not.
I think active for me means you're not going to church, right?
Inactive. Yeah. But here's what I was saying. When I lived in Virginia, I had some friends that I would completely call inactive is the word that I would use the term. They weren't going to church every Sunday. Like maybe once every 6 months they would come. They didn't hold, like maybe they held a calling, but it was like a really easy one or something. And I remember talking to one of my friends and she was like bearing her testimony about the church and how active she was. And I was like, what? Like, I would never call you active in the church. But in her mind, she was active.
She just wasn't going to church.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, it's
everyone. Maybe
everybody's in a different thing. And I think some of these women, from what I've seen on Instagram, like I said, I haven't watched it.
Get to that,
and I'm not against it. I'm not against. I might watch it, but I haven't got to that low place to watch it.
I'm not. I will admit, Are you guys, I do not watch TV. Like I have not watched TV in 2 years. I can't keep my eyes off of it.
It's so true, though.
It is a really big.
It's entertaining. So that's what I'm saying. No, but it's nothing to be against. So I think if people really give it, like I've seen people that are like, we need to stand up and talk against it and da da da. I'm like, if you have a problem with that, then you need to kind of do like a self-reflect to know, like, it's kind of like because some of the stuff they said, like they talk about in the first one, probably they talk about like, well, my mom used to tell me that, I need to marry a man that was a missionary. And I'm like, some of that conversation does happen in the home.
Yeah,
so that's their story. So we can't be mad because they're telling their story. It may not be something that we do. And I think it's because people are worried that it makes the church look bad. But I'm like, that's their story. Everybody in the church
my interpretation
have a thing on
before
it.
I watched it was they are taking gospel doctrines and principles and breaking them down and show. No, it literally has nothing to do with the church.
It sounds like it's about Mormon women, not about Mormonism.
They're not even.
They're not even
about Mormon women.
I think they
Mormon
chose
as
a really good name. Someone was like originally
like Utah.
Somebody
Mom
said
Talk.
it was originally just going to be called Mom Talk. And then Taylor Frankie got put in jail, and so they actually piloted it in 2020. I studied this. I was like, wow, where have I been? Like,
I know, you did a lot of research. I got you.
Everyone got into this last year, and I'm always late to the game.
They did a swinging. It started out with the swinging. I think we talk about swinging in one of the episodes. That's why
they started, and it was going to be called like Mom Talk, and then they piloted it in 2022. She ended up getting arrested, so they put it on hold till 2023. When they came back, they brought a whole new cast, and then they just pulled in the Mormon name, and it went viral.
And it's not even like these girls are.
It's literally like Jersey Shore of Salt Lake.
Like I said, they're not friends. They backstab each other. Mm-hmm. They're not really. And they literally the stuff they said. It's like, we need to protect Mom Talk, and then the friend's like, well, didn't you tell the producer to kick me off the show so you can get more money? And it's like, what?
Like, who told you that?
Who told you that?
Yeah,
you know?
Say that.
And so it's like very
it's
like
not TV.
Okay. It's just pretty much like Kardashian.
You'd have to follow,
but I feel like as a former Mormon, I do have some place to speak because I practice it majority of my life. It's not about you. Don't get offended.
It's
okay. Like,
there's nothing to get offended about. There's nothing to be like. They're just. It's not
like
bad. It's not. It's just entertainment. It's just
they
like
were
what we
smart
call
to use
trash
that
TV.
name because it's the #1 show right now. They've already got contracts for 5 more years, and those girls are now celebrities.
Yeah, it's just great marketing. Mm-hmm. Like literally, putting it. It's just great marketing. So I don't get offended.
They could want the secret lives of Buddhist wives, and same thing. It would just be.
It's just a bunch of Japanese women. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah.
You want a Mormon wife? You got to follow Brittany Crane around. That's
100%.
Like completely flip
homeschooling. Yeah,
but I'm like
completely
they need the dress. It's not that. It's literally they don't say anything. Like this time they say things. They're like, yeah, and then we learn how to forgive each other, and then they're like at the Chippendales, like
oh my God, like, yeah, it's not. I don't. Think
it's just trash TV.
All right,
how fun.
That's good. I might watch it now.
I know. Well, literally, get to that low place. And then you're like,
get to the low place,
and then you can't get off. Exactly, and you can't get off.
Lie. One season,
can't turn it off.
So dying. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, our next hot topic is going to be about Reddit. I got introduced to Reddit probably 6 months ago. I got an Instagram message saying, "Hey, your name is blowing up over on Reddit and a Reddit page. You should go check it out." And I'm like, "What?" So I had to Google Reddit. And went and found out, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But my name did get mentioned on somebody else's page, and it was kind of funny. And somebody came up and defended me, and then it fizzled out. But then my whole world got open to what is Reddit. Mm-hmm. So Reddit is a website. It is, and I feel like it's where mean people go to do mean things. Yes.
Or make up stuff.
And I have spent like that day, I spent probably an hour and a half just getting lost reading all the comments on Reddit on this person's page. And people were just like screenshotting her stories and posting every single thing she did. They were commenting on it, and it was not nice. And so then since then, that was one person that I saw, her Reddit page. And then I've seen multiple Reddit pages, and it's kind of just where people go to be mean and to dissect other people.
So I have
and pick them apart.
Someone put
now tonight I'm going to go home and look at Robin's.
Here's my thought on Reddit. I feel like if you even go, this is why I don't even look at it anymore, because if I go and look at it, I'm immediately lowering my energetic level. There is nothing good on Reddit. It's where people talk shiz. It's where keyboard warriors are the kings. It's where people say things about you that they wouldn't have the balls to say to your face. And so I think even partaking of it, reading it is like bad energy. So I didn't know what it was. Someone's like, hey, you're blowing up on Reddit. This was a couple of years ago. I Google searched it and realized that there have been people essentially stalking my every move for years. I mean, it went back.
Is it like somebody create a post about you and then
so like there would be a Robin Warner page.
So there's what's really big in Utah is there's a Utah influencer Reddit page.
Ooh.
And then every day they focus on someone new or what they're doing. So I was on a couple years ago during my divorce, and it was thousands of comments on why they thought I got divorced, or, well, I'm so-and-so's cousin and this is what happened. Well, I know Robin and this is what happened. And even like checking these, even the people who were defending me, I was like, I don't even know who you are. First of all, you don't go by your name. You go by a screen name. So no one ever knows. It's anonymous, right? But even the people who were on my team were I was like, you are not my friend. Like, that's not what happened. They made up a lot of assumptions or whatnot, but they would pick me apart. And so I realized I've probably been on there ever since, but not to get back on. Just 2 weeks ago, I posted a story where I was like, I'm going to be sharing something really big happened. And I was signing like a big chunk of papers.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that blew up on Reddit, and I haven't looked, but everyone is assuming what I'm doing or making fun of me or mocking me for what I'm doing. I'm not even go look at my friend said, hey, did you see a blew up on Reddit? I said, I don't ever want to know. And the best advice I ever got from another entrepreneur and influencer she said, don't ever go look up your name on Reddit, because it's the scum of the scum. It's the worst of the worst. And it's people trying to play into your biggest vulnerabilities, your deepest pain, and nothing ever is good there. So I looked once, they made up all these assumptions about my marriage and who cheated and I cheated and this and this and that. But then one person, this is funny, one person said something about my teeth. And I was like, They're like,
that's
they were like, look at those big white chiclet teeth. Those are fake veneers. Is she ever going to tell everyone that she got fake teeth? And I was like, bro,
those are real.
These are not George Washington. Okay? These are my teeth. Don't ever talk about my teeth like that again. So they just pick you apart. But yeah, if you are listening and you participate on Reddit, go get therapy and check yourself. If you cannot say who you are and say those things to someone's face, get off the internet. Go take a cleanse and get some help. Reddit is gross energy. Don't even go look your name.
Wow. Why was Reddit even invented? Does anybody know that?
Was to anonymously talk.
Well, I think you can use it for all sorts of things. Like my nephew uses it, and he's I don't know if he's doing those threads, but the threads he's shared with me about it has been like geeky threads where like he and others are like talking about investing in crypto and like, engineering. Like, there's threads for everything.
Okay. So it's just
not
kind
just
of
an
a
old school thread,
Yeah.
and you pick what you want. If you want to use it for good purposes, you can do that. If you want to go hop on all the trash talking threads, you can do that. You have pretty much whatever you want.
Utah use it for trash talking.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
So just go on a different thread, or just, don't go on it at all.
introduced to it. Somebody who says the name of an influencer, and I think it was kind of the thing they posted, like, this is what somebody said to me on Reddit. And it was awful. Like, it was so sad. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then I went and looked, and I was like, oh,
it's a whole world.
Insane. Like, these people literally, and they're like committed. Like, they come back and they answer and they go back and forth.
There's actually Reddit mediators that you get paid to go and mediate comments.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I know an influencer who has paid someone to be her Reddit mediator, and she pays them to go and remove comments and to
wow.
Because it gets so gnarly. Well, when you have a big
brand that you have to protect.
I wouldn't even say I'm that big, but there are people who have a big brand, big businesses, personal life. Those type of comments and accusations and lies can hurt people's reputations. And so there are people who are paid to remove things that once fact checked, it should be pulled off the internet. I have probably once a month a DM that comes from someone and they're like, hey, we saw you on Reddit for X amount of dollars. We can pull those comments off. And I'm like, you're probably the ones who put the comments on for them to have me pay to take them off. I'm not gonna I'm not buying into that. Yeah. But yeah, people can say some pretty horrible stuff. I just have an amazing friend who's a creator and her whole platform is Jesus Christ. And she just got blown up on Reddit. Like, how dare she talk about Jesus Christ on the internet? Like, they will find anything about you and they are committed. They almost stalk you.
And that's like, I think with influencing and Reddit, it's just really hard because I love your approach of like, I'm not even going to address it because people because then there's people then I see that like other influencers, they are like going back and forth with people. I'm like, what is that going to do? You don't know this person. They don't know you. It could be your
freaking sister-in-law. I have a friend who goes on Reddit and checks every day. And I kindly told her, I'm like, you are lowering your energetic vibration by participating.
Don't participate.
Guess what? There are hundreds, maybe thousands of comments about me. And I sleep just fine at night because I don't know about them. And you can have the thickest skin. And I've done so much work. I'm still in therapy, but reading those things still affect me. So I'm not even going to read them.
Yep. I saw a thing. I'm trying to practice. Hold on. I wrote it down. And because my thing is always, I always have this mindset of like, if I don't know you and you're not somebody that I respect or know, like you can go say anything you want about me. But like if people that I care about say something about me, then I want to talk and be like, hey, why do you feel, this way? And then I was online and I said, it says, I don't take criticism to heart from people I don't admire and respect. Amen. And that has always been like, because it's just like, I don't know you. You don't know me. You're just going by this little clip. And I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Then anything you have to say it's not going to bother me. So keep it moving. So I think that's kind of.
But there are some people on there, like I have seen some comments when I first looked a couple years ago that it would have had to have been from someone I know really well. And so I'm like, I literally think it's just a toxic place for people who don't have enough self-worth to tell you to your face. Yeah. Go and it's like their dopamine hit and it's gross. Like literally when people even say the word Reddit, to me, it feels icky and gross. And I don't think any creator should check. I don't think any creator should ever spend energy battling back and forth to prove themselves. Like, apparently I'm blowing up. I'm not even going to look because I genuinely don't care.
Well, you won't win anyway. Somebody had said this. I heard this quote the other day and I thought it was so powerful. It said something like, stop trying to please a world that killed a perfect man. So like thinking about like Jesus, who was perfect, like they killed him. He was perfect. You're never going to please this world. So don't even try. As a matter of fact, the more perfect you are, the probably more you're going to piss them off. So,
Such is true in my case. Just kidding.
So,
okay, Reddit. There we go.
There we go.
Wrap it up.
Thanks for joining our Brave conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a positive review and subscribe to this podcast for more Brave conversations. We encourage you to be brave and continue the conversation on our social media platforms everywhere at The Brave Talk Show. See you next week.
How you do the things that you do.